And thank you for joining me today. It is 101.5 FM's 10 days to the 10th Urban Country Music Festival countdown. And we are on day 7 today. Oh no, day 6. Oh, it's getting closer and closer and closer. And look, we're going to be talking about the traditional country show. And because that's down at the Senior Citizens Hall here in Hastings Street, Caboolture. Now, one of the artists that's going to be there is joining us on the phone right now. Welcome to our listeners and to 101.5 FM, Mr. Daryl Norwood.
Thank you, Tracy.
How you going, Daryl?
I'm going great, thank you.
Now, I think I remember you from out at Warwick. Did you used to go out to the Warwick Country Music Festivals out there?
Oh, yes, I'm a regular visitor out there, and yes, I just enjoyed Warwick's an old hometown, not a hometown of mine, but I used to live there, and I just love going out there to that festival.
Oh, it's such a beautiful town. It's such a family town, I find, out there, because I think the shops do close early and the families do get out in the parks. So I love Warwick, and I'm sure I have seen you out, so there we go. Now, Daryl, this is your first year at the Urban Country Music Festival with the traditional country show. How does it make you feel to be able to get out there and show that the true, and I think traditional country really is the true heart of country music?
Well, Tracy, it goes back a long way, and especially all the songs, all the wonderful singers we have in Australia, and of course America is very big in country music. And all that traditional stuff, the Johnny Cashes and Jim Reeves and all those guys, you know, us people our age, we still love it. And the new way they play country music is fine. You know, we have some wonderful singers, but a lot of us still go back to that traditional country music, don't we?
Oh, and I think you have to go back there because that's where the roots are, and that really teaches you all about country music as well. And a lot of people go, oh, you know, the 3-chord twang of country, but it's not really that. It's the I think country music and traditional country music gives you the heart of country, and you need to start with the heart. Otherwise, you don't have it beating and you don't have a song.
Well, Tracy, a lot of those songs are stories about people, and those stories, you know, they touch the heart of many people, and I don't know about you, but I like to hear a story told in song, and whether it's upbeat or slow, we all have those preferences that we like to sing. But it's great to hear a story told in song.
And you say that so truly, because we were talking to Graham Roger on Friday, and he said, you know, most of the songs start out as either poems or stories, and we just put the poems or stories into song, just put a melody behind it and bring it to life that way.
Yes, we do, and of course, you know, we have many of us that are getting on in years now, and we're still going to all these little country music clubs. We have many of them in southeast Queensland, and every weekend you can go to a country music club, and really, there's so much wonderful talent about.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? And again, I'm going to probably sound like a broken record, but we're seeing a lot of the young ones coming along now, singing more of the bush ballad stuff, more of the traditional stuff, even some yodeling stuff. So it's good to see that it's done its full circle and it's coming on back.
Isn't that wonderful? Yes, and we went to a Keith Urban concert a couple of months ago, and how wonderful it was. You know, he's the greatest guitarist
amazing.
I've ever seen, I think, and we really loved it. But I still like to go back to my old traditional music.
And of course, we're talking to Daryl Norwood, who's one of our guests going to be at the Urban Traditional Country Show. Now, that's going to be down at the Senior Citizens Hall. And I think it kicks off on Saturday. I've got right in front of me, I have the form here. Saturday, it kicks off at 9 o'clock and goes through to around 5 or 6. Now, we don't want to go home from these events, so we do sort of tend to drag it on a little bit later. And on the Sunday between 1 p.m. and around 5 or 6 p.m. again, Senior Citizens Hall, Hastings Street, Caboolture. Now, I believe that you have a very special guest going to be there on both of the days, and he's no stranger to this area as he does live up this way. And because we're talking about Chad Morgan, have you had the opportunity to be performing with Chad before in the same lineups?
No, I haven't. I've been to a couple of his shows, and because Chad Morgan is a character, he's an icon, isn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a marvelous. He's just been going for so long. Yes, and no, I haven't been on with Chad before, but looking at the list of we have here, we have some wonderful singers, and I think it's going to be a terrific show.
Well, would you like to tell our listeners some of the artists that will be playing at the traditional showcase?
Well, we have, I'm from Maritcha River Country Music Club, and Heather Boddicker is going to open the show. Heather comes from our club, and Bruce Bell, he's a wonderful guitarist. He's on second. Terry Hilton, Chad Morgan, the Muirs, Kevin and Delilah Brown, and Bill Ramsey. We have wonderful singers in the category of traditional country music.
Oh, it sounds like a show that can't be missed. We're going to have to get our little boots on and get on down there. And I know that the atmosphere down there is fantastic. Now, before we let you go, Daryl, I'd like to find out who maybe is some of your influences over the time of you've been singing, and maybe what sort of songs we can hear from Daryl this weekend.
Going back many, many years ago.
Or one or two, maybe.
Yeah. when I was a young fella, I bought a gramophone, and the first record I bought was Jim Reeves. And Mum and I used to sit and listen to Jim Reeves, and I have over 30 LPs of his.
Wow.
And he's been a big influence on my music, but I love Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash, and all those sort of guys. Slim Dusty's, he's been the greatest country music singer that we've ever had, and they've all been influences because they've all been so great.
Well, thank you very much for that, and for bringing the traditional music back out into the spotlight. I think it needs to get back out there. So thank you very much for your time today, Daryl. Daryl Norwood, with many guests going to be down there. And I'll say it once again, the Senior Citizens Hall is the place to be for this year's Urban Country Music Festival. If you're looking for traditional country music, and they're going to be featuring Chad Morgan on the Saturday and the Sunday. Daryl, probably one of Chad's most famous songs would have to be the Shotgun Wedding.
And that's it's funny, Tracy. You brought that one up, and that's the one that I sang at the Warwick Festival, not this year, but the year before, in the Anything Goes section. and I got dressed up like Chet, of course. You had to do that.
Oh yes, you got to get the teeth out there as well, and that turned hat.
Oh, Tracy, when I got on stage, I had the teeth in, but I just couldn't see with them. I had to take them out.
That would have been flying across the room. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, they would have been. It was so funny.
Oh, dear. Thank you very much for the laugh. We're going to call you Chad Norwood. But here it is right now. Thank you very much for your time. And we will see you this weekend at the Urban Country Music Festival. Here's Chad Morgan now with The Shotgun Wedding.
Now, I've been chasing Sheilas for more than half my life, but seldom have I had one that's thought to be my wife. But I met a little Sheila out on the Queensland plains. She said, don't try and leave me like your other burnt-out flames. She said, don't try and leave me, don't you try to run, 'cause Pappy's right behind you and he's got a loaded gun. There's going to be a wedding whether you agree or not, and if you try to get away, my darling, you'll get shot. Ooh, ouch! Arr, arr! Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Ooh, ouch! Arr, arr! Hallelujah, hallelujah. They made the preparation for the wedding to begin, sent out the invitations to call the people in. Then they marched me to the church, all the drongos strung along. Her old man walked behind me and he sang this little song. Here comes the bride, the sheik by her side, feeling very sorry for himself. He tried to run, but I stopped him with my gun. He's going to marry her or else. I said, listen, you old geezer, you've made a big mistake. Your daughter for a wife I will never take. There's a window right behind me, and through it I shall fly. So just before I leave you, I'll say goodbye. Then I started running, I jumped across the room. As I felt something hit me, I heard an awful boom. Now my friends, I'm far away, I stand beneath a tree, picking out the buckshot that old coot fired into me. Ooh, ouch, ow, ow, ha-la-la-la-la-doo, ha-la-la-la-la-doo, ha-la-la-la-la-doo. Ooh, ouch, oh, oh, ha-la-la-la-la-doo, ha-la-la-la-la-doo.